Hiya and welcome to the Lifestyle Show with me, Pam Joseph. Now, for the next sort of 2 hours or so, you're going to be entertained by myself and my guests. We're doing it as we comply with government regulations and doing everything remotely. So welcome to my humble abode. And once again, I keep saying this because we keep getting these great messages from everyone saying, oh, wow, fantastic, great to see you guys back. And however strange it may look and peculiar it may look at the moment, we're still there in the essence, and this is the Lifestyle Show. Okay, now as well as covering all relations or dealings to do with the COVID-19, obviously worldwide we know about this pandemic and the effects of it, and also we're looking at positive aspects as well. What are we gaining from this? What are we trying to get out of this to be positive and to keep our spirits up and everything else? So we're not just wanting to talk about dismal things as well. We want to talk about uplifting things and keeping everybody, as I said, lighten our spirits. Yeah, to lighten our spirits. Okay, so you're welcome to interact with the show. You can send in your messages there, medianet.com as well. You can also tweet us, and that's at Lifestyle TV Show. And don't forget, we are going to be showing this particular show on the Ben Television Sky platform 458, and that's every Monday between 5 p.m. and 7, and Fridays 10 a.m. till 12 noon. So you got a chance to tell your friends and family that they missed out on this. They can still watch us on that. And also the Facebook Lifestyle on Ben. Don't forget the likes. Don't forget the likes. So, okay, at this point, I do always have to sort of bring in I keep calling him co-conspirator, because he is really the Dark Persuader, Anthony Jordan.
Hello. How are you?
Are you sitting on a throne? Are you sitting on a throne? What is that?
It's so in co-conspiracy, you're a bit jealous now that I have the regal treatment. So I have... Well, I adhere to government rules. I am allowed to travel, so I've travelled, and I'm, sponsored by Tann-I Designers. If you're going to do it properly. So you get your phone and you get your backshot. That's what I'm doing.
Very regal, I must say.
It's Sir Anthony. I'm going to change the name. It's Sir Anthony Jordan now.
Sir Anthony Jordan,
or HRH. Yeah.
Well, indeed. Lovely to see you.
Indeed. Likewise. How have you been, Pam? Come again?
How's your week been?
It's been a weird week. Personally, with everyone, like those around me, all good. With news that comes to you're kind of disheartened a bit, which I know we'll be touching on a bit later on as well, and obviously with our next guest. So it's been up and down, if you would, but we continue to survive. How about yourself? How have things been?
Yeah, it's a roller coaster of a week. You're right. There have been some nice things being said, nice things happening, but then it was kind of sprinkled over with a bit of, very bad and dismal news going on. And you are right. My next guest will be perhaps even giving us a bit more of an enlightenment of what's happening over in the United States of America. You're right. We've lifted. Well, should have said the government's lifted some restrictions, hasn't he? So he's sort of said to us, well, you can drive anywhere you want. You can go in the car and drive anywhere you want. Right, so, okay. So everyone's...
You can go to work if you have to stay at home, but don't stay at home, because if you have to go to work, the rest... Yeah.
And the beaches and the things. I mean, it's like crazy, Yeah. I don't know. I'm still kind of keeping my sort of self, still being sensible and
My approach to it is this: you're allowed to, but the problem that told you to stay in hasn't gone. So yes, do certain things, but don't think that it's all roses and just break. The restrictions that you had to be in a safe position, and for those in a vulnerable position, still stick to it, because we don't know. You may not feel it. Remember, asymptomatic is a huge problem here. You may be okay. You go to someone else, they necessarily aren't as strong as you, and so my biggest advice is just be cautious.
Be cautious, remain that. I've just got to say at this point that the St. Paul's Cathedral have actually created this initiative. It's called Remember Me, and it's an online book of condolences for COVID-19 victims, and it's a place where you can send in images of your lost ones, you know, your loved ones and lost ones, and put in a short message as well. And it's called Remember Me. It's an online book of condolences. Check that out on Google. You know, you want to have that put up there for the world to see, you know, to those that you have lost. And I think that's a great initiative there. Really, really good one. Remember Me. Okay. All right. I'm going to say Sir Anthony Jordan. I have to now introduce my first guest. Now, we said about going over to the abroad. We'd like to go abroad. We do like to do that, to talk to our people, whether it's the Caribbean, America, what have you. But we do have someone from America, and he's a very familiar face to lifestyle. And we're going to bring him now. He goes by the name of Reginald Maynor. He's the regional director of Luster's Incorporated. How you doing, sir?
How are you, Pam? Long time no see. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Nice to see you. You're
nice to see you cool. Too. Well, yeah, I got my little home office set up. You know, I got my branding going on. I got my inspiration over my shoulder, Michael Jordan. So, you know, and you asked me how I was. I'm happy. I'm sad. I'm mad, I'm inspired, I'm frustrated, but I have not lost that one commodity in my heart, and that is hope.
Yeah, exactly. And
let's
start with goodness first.
Let's start with goodness and back into what we got to get.
Yeah, we're going to start off with the goodness first. So
start with the hands, raise it up.
With the hands.
And respect.
All about respect. I love that. I really love that. So talk to me, how has Luster's been coping with the COVID?
Well, let's rewind just a minute to the positive. Last time I saw you and Sir Anthony was at the brilliant Tann-I soiree, Black History Month, October 2019.
Yes.
And that evening was a groundbreaker for Luster products because you were the MCs, brilliantly done. It was a classy evening. And we launched the joint venture between Gem Merchandising, Gem Media, and Luster Products. And I just want to show this on the screen because remember, this book was there, Spirit of the Pharaoh. You may not be able to see it on the screen, but www.spiritofthepharaoh.com. Yeah. Sorry if I didn't get you the graphics beforehand. Yeah. But Terry Jervis and I have created a union between two powerful companies, one from the UK and one from the US. Both Black owned and operated, both very powerful within their own genres. But we're combining media and beauty and making a collaborative program and opportunity for people globally. It is a diasporic platform that we're going in. What I mean by that, we as Black people have more in common than we have different, but we refuse to acknowledge that for some reason. We get caught up in these geographical and language and good hair, bad hair, light skin. We are one. And if we decide to stand on that platform as one, then guess what? We can't be stopped. Hope has arrived if we have that mindset. So I saw you at the Tann-I soiree. We had a brilliant evening, and that was the launch. And now come February, which was Black History Month in the US, I was back in the UK, and that was my last time for a while, unfortunately. But we had our roundtable meetings with Jervis Entertainment Media, with some empowerment groups, with some church organizations, with community-minded individuals who are looking to be entrepreneurial in spirit and who are looking to inspire young people. And old people, understand, young and old have the same goals, to thrive, not just survive.
Yeah.
And that's where we're coming from. And so we're creating a lot of different opportunities, both from a entrepreneurial agent side, but also you will see some investment opportunities. And it's all centered around the Blackness of us as a people throughout the diaspora.
Mm-hmm. That sounds remarkable. That was, I mean, you're right. It was a brilliant night, and to see the book, I mean, it was a great inspirational night as well. And Terry Jervis, let's give a bit more on him because people, they just heard the name, but they don't know enough about him. So can you give us a bit more about Terry Jervis?
Terry Jervis was the youngest executive at the BBC at the age of 27. And this was some years ago, it was about, I think, 25, 30 years ago now. But the programs that he created, everyone knows, he's an icon. He created several different platforms. The Spirit of the Pharaoh came about as a byproduct of him almost losing his life. You know, he was this great executive at the BBC for years. He got the Queen to lay the wreath for the abolition of slavery, the 200th anniversary. He's actually built a spaceship with Rolls-Royce for Mars. Tropical Island, which a lot of kids loved, was his creation. I could go on and on.
Yeah.
The Desmonds, I could go on and on. I mean, the list is immeasurable.
Yeah.
And so when he and I met, we just became kindred spirits. We became brothers from another mother, really. And I say that because we as men, Black men, don't always acknowledge that we need to unite in order to be stronger. We try to stand on this platform as individuals and be this almighty thing to all people. And that's just not real. It's a team effort. It's just like that man above me, Michael Jordan. They accused him of not being able to win the championship because he was a scoring champion and he listened to his Zen master, Phil Jackson. And that's something that I practice is meditation, because you have to center yourself in the chaos. Because if you do not, you will get consumed and you will get marginalized, and they will blame you for the actions that you take just to defend yourself.
Yeah, for real. Lovely. You put it so eloquently. You really do, Reggie. But I understand. A little Dicky Bird told me there's a new oil. Is there a new hair?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a new hair oil, and I actually, you know what? I had it sitting here, and now I'm gonna have to talk to my wife because it looks like it's missing. It was here. I'm just saying, no, she's gonna get me later. No, I think I misplaced it actually. But we have a brand new 100% oil, and you actually will see in one of the commercials, because what you guys have allowed us to do, and we're launching this as an exclusive on Ben TV in a commercial environment. You know, these days, everything is social media driven, Instagram, Facebook, and these little 15, 30-second clips tell a story. Well, today you guys have allowed us to do 3 ads that we're going to run twice to tell our story. The first ad will feature, and the moderator, ladies and gentlemen, is the daughter of the president of the company, Simone Luster. Jory Luster is her dad. Her brother, Jory Luster Jr., shot it, and her older sister, Risa B. Luster, is the brand manager for Pink. So the Luster family legacy is real. It is continuing. And that's why we're still here 63 years later. But anyway, that commercial series starts with our 14 classic Pink items. And then you'll see the magic of those oils and all of the ingredients that are in it and where you can find it as far as Luster products distribution in your market. So yes, Pam, thanks for asking for that oil, because I got some coming to you.
Yeah, well, I should thank someone all.
Coming to you.
So are we going to see it now?
Yeah, so there you go, Pam. That was part one of it. Part 2 will come next, and then you'll also see later the introduction of a segment that the Luster siblings have put together called Hair Talk, and it is literally just some nice information about the products that we make and how they can be used for your hair type and texture. And every woman is looking to solve a hair problem or a hair need, or just to get up and look a little different in the morning. And we got something for everybody. So, and you'll see our Pink Classic range later, which that's how Simone and Joy Jr. launched the Hair Talk platform. And it is on our Luster Products website, www.lusterproducts.com.
Okay. All right. I can't see you right now, so I don't know where Reggie's gone. There he is. There.
Oh, hey, could you hear me though? Hey, listen, man, we all feel like we're in the twilight zone anyway. So, you know, it's about being flexible. You know?
Exactly. We just saw a little clip. The viewers and I just saw a little clip of the oil, and so we're going to be seeing more of that later on. Good.
Yeah.
So for 2020, we're nearly halfway. We're practically halfway. 2020.
Yes.
So what kind of plans were put in place ready for 2020?
Yeah. One of the first things we've done is, as a manufacturer of hair products, we had access to alcohol and other ingredients that can make hair and sanitizer. My international division shut down on the 12th of March. I have not shipped a European distributor since then. So that impacts the business in a major way. Thank God that prior to that, we were having one of our best first quarters in a while. So the momentum was there. So what we've done is domestically, US, we've created 5 different sizes of hand sanitizer. I do believe there may be a segment later that will show it, but Mr. Joy Luster, the Luster family in production, first distributed it free to people like La Barbita Hospital, nursing homes, community centers, shelters, because in the inner city, we do not have the luxury of getting these kind of products from anyone, much less at a time when it is the most important to sanitize. And so we're very proud of having done that. It's not something I'm gonna be able to ship to the US because the other reality is there's so many people that are looking for those same ingredients, same bottles, same caps. Yeah. Buying it was tough. I don't know if any of you saw what the governors went through in the US because our heads would not put a unified buying process together. Well, we as an individual company don't have that muscle either. So we had to buy as we can. But we did it for the singular purpose to supply the community that we knew is underserved, would not have a chance to get it. And if they did, they'd even have to pay more than what we're charging. And we are charging a little bit of a premium, but it's not for profit. It's just so that we don't go in the hole and we can continue to make more and continue to make a business. And when our costs come down, so will the price point. But right now, it's about staying alive.
From hair gel to sanitizing gel. That's one of the manufacturing changes the president of a Chicago hair product company is making during this pandemic. And with a research and development team on site, he's been able to close the gap for people in need of such products, including those on the front lines. Joy Luster, one of Chicago's very own. For more than 6 decades, Luster Products, Inc. has provided hair care products to clients around the world while always providing for the local community.
Homeless shelters, recovery shelters, battered women's centers.
But company president Joy Luster says the impact of the coronavirus is something he never would have imagined in his wildest dreams.
I've never seen anything like this. I won't be able to define this until it's in our rearview mirror.
He says 2 months ago, when the pandemic started to take hold, he and his employees found themselves shorthanded on sanitizer, and then a bell went off.
We had the capability and the materials to make some, at least enough for all of us here at Luster Products to have what we needed in our families.
A few weeks ago, after ramping up production of hand sanitizer, Jory and his colleagues donated several cases to the Matthews House, a homeless shelter, and also to La Barbita Hospital in Chicago.
We want to make sure that the people that are serving the public, they have adequate supply of hand sanitizer. And then if they have a good idea of the people that they will be encountering, we provide some for them as well.
Because of the increase in demand, Luster says he's now selling the sanitizer, but even with the proper tools, ingredients are not always readily available, and he occasionally runs out. His last batch weighed in at 5,000 pounds.
Everything's in high demand right now. Packaging is in high demand, and the alcohol. It's a juggling act.
The sale of sanitizer may help soften the blow to his business, but Luster says this virus has definitely taken its toll.
But that had a devastating effect on everything we do. I've got friends that have taken ill. I've got friends that have lost their lives.
But he says he finds comfort in helping others, especially during these unprecedented times.
You get a warm and fuzzy feeling because it's something that's needed. They're elated. Let me tell you, they're really, really excited.
Jory Luster and Luster Products, Inc., one of Chicago's very own. Luster says this is not temporary. He plans to keep hand sanitizer as part of his product line, believing that COVID-19 has changed the way the public will feel and view cleanliness for years to come.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. I love to hear that when you say that, you know, diversify what's going on now. Let's see what we can do to change
exactly.
up. You know, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. You know, how is Luster's going to cope for the next 6 months?
Well, yeah, from a marketing standpoint, the one obvious thing is that online shipping, door-to-door drop-off, people waiting at home for a package to be delivered, irrespective of what it is, has come to the fore. So we've actually spent these last 2 months aligning with online retailers through some of our wholesale and distributors. Myself, Terry Jervis, and his team have put together a virtual process by which, we're about to make a movie. We're about to make an animated movie, a live action movie. But in that process, because we know the inner city is underserved, we're doing it virtually now for people to be able to audition for acting, engineering, music. And we're going to be using the social media platforms and virtual contact, one, to audition, and two, to actually produce the piece. And all of that's done in conjunction with Luster Products. Here's our little bespoke bag. And again, I'll send you some links so everybody can get it, but it's Spirit of the Pharaoh Luster Products. On the back, we have a scroll, Spirit of the Pharaoh, and how you can enter. But Pam, this is about diversifying. This is about being able to reach people in their new reality. This is a new reality for all of us. You and I used to sitting next to each other in the studio, being a high five, and I give you a T-shirt as a commemoration.
Exactly.
I'm gonna send you one of these, though. I got you. I ain't gonna leave you out with the T-shirt, and it'll be with the oils. But that aside, so Gem Media, Gem Merchandise, and Luster Products, our social media team, we're putting together a really great program. And again, we're aligning with some great community organizations there in the UK. And it'll eventually evolve here to the US. But the reason we're doing it in the UK is because of Terry, his pedigree, the fact that Spirit of the Pharaoh will be marketed there. We'll establish it and then bring it to the US. And we plan to do a virtual movie. We did our first casting last week virtually. And naturally, they're going to be using Luster Products. And we'll be doing cosplay, which is, I'm going to dress up like Ramon. I'm going to dress up like Nefertari. Well, I wouldn't dress like Nefertari, but, because she's a woman. But, you're getting my drift. You're getting my drift. But we want people to have fun and see, they'll be able to either enter to actually be an actor, actress, or engineer, or just come on and have a little fun on social media and win some prizes, win some money, win some things that can be an investment for later on for them and their kids. So it's a multifaceted program and multi-layered. And that's why earlier my preamble about happy, sad, mad, inspired, frustrated, but I have not lost hope. And that's the biggest commodity we can hold on to as Black people, because we don't often get anything else. Very little is given to us. What we get, we have to earn and take. And I don't mean take in a violent way. I mean take by our skill set, our mindset, and our dedication to a plan that we execute. That's what's entitlement.
You're good. But so as we talk about Black people and as a race, let's talk about the situation that's actually occurring in America as we speak.
Yes.
I'm hearing from coast to coast rioting's going on. Let's recap on that. If anyone doesn't know.
Pam, the sad reality to this is that it's not new. And Will Smith, everybody's quoting Will Smith, racism is not new, it's just being caught on film. And even in that, we are denied immediate justice. These riots didn't start because people just want to go out and tear up stuff because they've been on lockdown for the last 75, 80, 90 days. We're tired of seeing an innocent person being killed at the hands of the people that should be supporting and protecting them. And not all policemen are bad. Pam, I was sharing with Anthony earlier, I should not be sitting in this seat right now. And it's for two reasons. One, I grew up in the South Bronx, and I've had more guns pointed at me by cops than I would care to mention. And two, I started to become a cop. I was accepted to the police department. I was a Police Benevolent Association student about to go to school in the fall. That summer, friends of mine in 1972 got beat up for trying to catch a subway at 3 in the morning by an off-duty drunk cop. That was Friday night. I didn't see my friend until that Sunday morning. He had a knot from one ear to the other. And this was Sunday morning. I'm just walking outside getting some air, and he's crying, coming down the street. And he couldn't press charges because he was threatened. So I experienced it firsthand. So I went to the police academy at John Jay College the next morning, and I resigned. So yes, racism and police brutality is partially why I'm sitting this. And I don't say partially because I did a lot of other stuff to get here, but I would have been a cop first.
Yeah.
I literally was in the police department.
Some people were saying, why isn't there more Black people in the force? Because maybe that's
see,
the difference.
The thing about it is the program that I was in was actually called Inner City Project, and it was to take inner city students, make them policemen, and make them police their neighborhood, because they knew the people that they were in their neighborhood. They knew the activities that we embark on, and someone from there got a little bit more respect than someone who wasn't and didn't quite look like them. And that was part of the program that I was in. So yes, that initiative has happened. But since then, that's 1972. Since then, there's been so many changes, so many infiltrations into security and police departments. And I won't go into the major rhetoric of who, what, when, why, conspiracy, because that's all people say is conspiracy, but it's not. When you have I did this earlier, and I hate to do this without it being on the screen, but this is a list of people, and you can't see the names actually, but no conviction, no conviction, no conviction. Why do you think Kaepernick did this? And then I had to handwrite George Floyd at the top, because I've had this list for a minute. No conviction, all at the hands of law enforcement. How are we supposed to feel?
Yeah. Exactly.
What are we supposed to do? But if we unite, don't tear up our neighborhood, and we're not the ones really tearing up the neighborhood. Understand anarchists, infiltrators, people with a hidden agenda that have come through these marches. If you see the people in the daytime, those are the citizens and ones that care. And it's multiracial, multicultural, gender neutral, and it's all kinds of ages. Come sundown, here come the guys in the black masks, the black suits, and the things that they can break a window. And which one of us have a bombastic bomb that's going to blow up a police station and make it ignite immediately? I don't know, no homies. These are paramilitary scenarios, and they're being conducted with precision, with anger, and with a purpose to disenfranchise and to discount the message that we're trying to get across. Exactly. But that's not going to work. For the first time, people are seeing these people and they are approaching them. And now I'm very proud of that. We should not be tearing up and burning down our communities, but we also need to put feet in the street. And that's a rough proposition during COVID. I'm saying prayers every day for people who are out there for the right reasons, and I'm hoping that they don't catch COVID.
It doesn't help when your leader.
When people are willing to risk their own lives to make a statement, what does that say about the state of America and who we are, who we should be, and who we can't? See, this is showing who we can be.
Exactly. But just to say to you, it doesn't help also that your leader is talking about, if you're looting, we're going to start shooting. Now,
that's an old Southern statement from, those wingers on the right. So you're exactly right. When you don't have a leader that has empathy, clarity of mission, he had no plan for COVID. It still doesn't, but blames it on everybody else. Make governors pit each other against each other. How do you make people negotiate against each other to buy life-saving equipment for these first responders and for patients and for family members? It's obscene. It's ridiculous. It has to stop. And I have a lot of friends that are Trumpers. And for the life of me, I don't understand it. But I tell you what, when they wake up one day and realize that, how in the heck is and again, Biden made a statement the other day, and none of us liked it. If you don't vote for me, you're not black. But that was a little off key, off kilter. But what he meant by that is, if you don't recognize what's being done to us by the current administration and his minions, then you don't need to complain about a thing. And so, I hate to tell people to vote against something as opposed to for something, but if ever there was a time when you need to, if you don't like Biden, then vote against Trump. I don't care, and I'm sorry to have to say it, but that's how I feel. Period. Period. Because
what's going to happen now, Reggie? How do you move forward? How does America move forward from this?
How you move forward is something I was talking about with Anthony earlier. I'm in 72 countries around the world, so I got people that have been hitting me up, and love to everybody in the diaspora, people around the world who have sent us love and want to say, "Hey, hang in there. Are you okay?" And yes, I'm a little emotional. Because if we can rally around each other and lift each other during a tragic moment, then why shouldn't we do that during a magic moment? And what I mean by a magic moment, if we rallied around each other and did not care about language, geographic realities, and realized that we all came through that same middle passage, we just got dropped off at different places at different times, but by the same people. We unite for something magic instead of tragic. Watch this space. And that's what me, Terry, our team, Luster Products, Joy Luster, the family, we're all heading in that direction. And one positive thing, we've also got Sheldon Edwards now. And I'd be remiss not to mention him. Sheldon Edwards is the barber to the elite athletes in the Premier League throughout the European divisions. He's got 375,000 followers as a barber. Well, what I like about that young man is that he's an advocate and a activist for the community, and he doesn't take his fame for granted, and he's using it to power other people. So now he's one of our global ambassadors. And so watch the S-Curl space on Instagram, go to HD Cuts, follow him, subscribe to him, because you helping him, helping us, because he grew up on Luster Products from a youth in Jamaica. And here come here and then make him a success. And now, you know, he's doing everybody. Raheem Sterling, Usain Bolt is his boy. So that's magic. And that's magic that we're going to make happen across the spectrum.
Yeah. I just want to see now something positive come out of this. We're waiting in the UK. There's loads of us just sitting here waiting to see what's going to come out of this now. Is there going to be any change to the laws? The first thing also I want to say to you, Reggie, now they've arrested the chap, the police officer who did the deed, but the other three have not been arrested.
Not yet, no.
Okay. So
and go ahead, sorry, Pam.
Yeah, I was going to say, so in order to move on, people want to see all four arrested, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And see, I will say this in reality check relative to some of the police departments and the benevolent associations. For the first time, I've seen them actually come out in unison in certain areas and denounce and say how tragic and how unnecessary this murder was. And so in that's step one. Step two, what I was alluding to before, all the people in the diaspora and the non-diaspora, people who of any color, race, and gender are supporting us. And it's not passive, nor will it recede just because. So if these other three don't get charged, see, that's the match that's still being lit with these and also it would be different, or it would be, there's still Breonna Taylor, there's still this lady in Central Park, Amy Cooper, who calls police on the Black Bird Watcher. I mean, the last 2 weeks have not been very good for Black psyche and Black respect. And that's why I wore this shirt today. It has to do with Michael Jordan and Derek Jeter from the New York Yankees, because, you know, I'm a New Yorker. But it's about respect on any level from everybody. And so, so I'm very positive about the potential. But the narrative can't stop once justice is done. And if justice is not done, we can't tear up our cities to make it that way. We have to go to the ballot box, make sure we vote for more than just a president and a vice president. We vote for our judges, we vote for our congressmen, we vote for our assemblymen, on and on and on and on, all the way down to the smallest level within government. That's how change comes. But we've been so disenfranchised that we don't always acknowledge it or do it. And they do marginalize us. Voter suppression is very real here. But in spite of all of that, we're coming. We are come. So
yeah, there you go. Well, we're going to be keeping our eyes glued onto America to see what's going to be happening there, because we want to see something positive come out of this. Something tragic has happened, but we want to now see something positive come out of this. It's all well and good. The four should be arrested. They should be charged and what have you. But then we want some legislator.
Absolutely, Pam. And again, that's the other reality of what's happening right now. There is a call for legislation.
Yeah.
You know, And not just in the US, because again, all my colleagues, friends, and people who don't even know me from around the world but know of us have united around this cause. So take that same energy, that same love, that same willingness to get up at any time of the day and do the right thing and support people like Luster Products, because we are still family owned and operated. And anyone else that is of a company that's trying to make a difference for you and yours. That's also economic power is the way forward for us, because if you don't empower yourself, you will always be relegated to second status. And that's the game plan. Pit us against each other, make sure that we don't understand that the strength of economic sobriety. And I say sobriety because we will spend money on some dumb stuff. And economic empowerment and value your future. People say, well, why don't Black people invest more? Guess what? If you don't expect to live long, what you gonna do with the money you got today? You're gonna spend it because I might not be here tomorrow. And that's very real. Every Black parent I know has PTSD for their child every morning when they leave the house because they don't know if they're coming back. Every morning. You know, I walk past secretaries or administrators in my office, and every one of them at some point in the day is checking in on their 15-year-old, their 12-year-old, their 20-year-old, their 40-year-old every day. How come I haven't heard from you? You know the rules. But in all of that, that's just about love and protection. And how do we solve PTSD? We give people hope. We say, listen, guys, if we take this energy and we harness it and start creating our own magic, guess what? If we haven't been stopped now with all that's been done to us, if we really unite, do you think we could be stopped? You really do? And that's the fear. Them know what we can do when we unite. So separate, divide, and make sure that they don't know what they really can do and who they really are.
There's also
and that day is over. That day is done.
Always power in numbers. There's always power in numbers. That's what it is. That's what it is.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. You know.
And Pam, I didn't mean to get so heavy, but I literally have been in tears for the last couple of days, and it's fear, anger, frustration, but then I also, again, I always go back to hope. And I have my pity party so that I can man up later.
Yeah.
I cry in the dark so that I can defend in the daylight.
That's good. That's good talk. That's good talk. That's good talk. Yeah, Reggie, as always, me and you can chat all afternoon.
Okay, yeah, no. We're gonna leave some time for your other guests now. You know
exactly. let me get one or two of them in, yeah.
But so, I must leave with this.
Yeah.
This is our hand sanitizer. This is our free flow. And you know that old pink?
Yes.
And this is our new baby, Shea Butter Coconut. So look for us, www.lusterproducts.com. We love you for loving us. Me, Luster Products, Spirit of the Pharaoh, Terry Jervis, our team, HD Cuts. We coming, y'all, and we coming strong, and we coming for love. We giving it to get it.
Yeah, nice one. Stay safe.
Out of your goodie bag, boo.
Thank you.
Your goodie bag.
Thank you, Reggie.
No, I can't thank you guys enough, and thank you for letting me vent and get that off of me. I hope I didn't. Anyway, no. I spoke what I felt.
Yeah, you spoke from the heart, and that's what I love. Yeah,
much love. Much love and respect to you guys, and I'm glad. I'm loving your new platform. Congratulations.
Thank you, Reggie. Thank you very much.
Love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
Take care. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Mwah. Peace.
Today I'm breaking down the natural oil blends in the Luster's Pink collection, and I want to talk to you guys about the Lush Growth Oil. Ingredient story for this product is, the key ingredients in the Lush Growth Oil are castor oil, tea tree oil, clary sage oil, rosemary oil, coconut oil, sweet almond oil, lavender oil, and vitamin E. What I love about this oil is that after using it, my new growth is coming in thicker, it's coming in stronger, it's actually helping with my braids, it's promoting itch relief. And this oil, the natural ingredient story, there's 2 oils in there that have growth benefits. This oil is the truth. So if you see this in the store, make sure you grab 2. This is Moni Les with Hair Talk, signing off.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. I mean, it is all going out there in the States. My gosh. it's kind of nice to get it kind of firsthand in a way, to hear this from Reggie, because we're seeing the news reports and we're hearing things going on. The other thing I wanted to say, Anthony, how dare they arrest a reporter?
They did?
They arrested a CNN reporter.
Yes, no, you're right. I did hear that one. He was black.
Yeah.
Do you know, I saw the headline. I've got to be honest, I didn't dig deeper. So I've just been really horrified by everything that's going on, in a way that you just think, you know, you guys kind of mentioned it. It's the fact that we've had this whole pandemic going on. Yeah. You start to see light at the end of the tunnel, and then what you get? Negative news that proves that all the hope that we talked about, all the positivity we talked about while being in lockdown, was just nothing but talk. You know, let's talk more action. Let's see what's going to happen. But the first thing that's happened while you've got a lift is police getting, you know, law enforcement, people. I'm going to say people because, as Reggie rightfully said, there are those that infiltrate law enforcement. I don't want to put a dark banner over all of police. It's that certain people who infiltrate and carry on with disgusting acts that just you can't defend it by any means. And you know, one of the biggest things, and I don't want to harness on this too much, but people say, oh, it was a matter of self-defense. Where in self-defense do you have a man prone down as much as he was and your hands are in your pocket?
I must be watching something else because I couldn't see this at all.
No. Yeah, it's a real tragic one, but you know, there is a movement, and as Reggie said, the diaspora globally, there is something in that. And at the moment, guys, one of the key things he said to me off camera, and I believe he might have mentioned it on camera to yourself, was you've got this moment where we are uniting, but let's not unite just in the negativity. Let's use this as a joining force, but let's realize that the power that we have here can be used for good. There is a lot in this motion and this movement, and don't let it just stop at, yes, correct the law, but let it go further.
That's correct. I mean, this is now a turning point, which I hope out of bad comes good, so that something legislation be placed that police officers have to stick to the rules about how they apprehend or how they take somebody in custody. He broke all the rules by kneeling on George Floyd's neck, and yet they claimed that because they tried to get him in a car, but they did have him in the car. So how did he get from the car to the ground? It doesn't make sense.
No, you know, do you know, I don't know if you've seen it, there's a Netflix 4-part series called When They See Us, which that's the one about the kids in New York. I remember seeing it. I've actually watched it twice, and that breaks you to a degree. And you think back in the 80s, and Reggie mentioned the 70s. So decade after decade, this situation keeps going, and you keep hoping for change, and you get let down along the way. And that's the part that really hurts me. But we have to remain positive. We have to remain optimistic. We have to stay strong.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily by violence, but unite and show that you will not get away with this. And positive things will come. And, you know, all of that talk of the Tamaro soiree, Spirit of the Pharaoh. You see the end of my name, Entertainment Corner. We have power. We are talented. Let's use this and evolve. Let's go way beyond. There is so much productivity that's out there. And I think that's why the ignorant fear what we can deliver. Because, you know, there are times where people talk about the Black Lives Matter, oh, it should be all lives matter. Yeah, I agree, all lives matter. However, there isn't a problem where you are hearing policemen are randomly killing this race, that race, or the other. And that's why there is a Black Lives Matter movement. And it's ignorance and fear. I don't want to say that we are superior. I believe everybody's equal. But those who fear and are intimidated by create the issues that we're dealing with and have been discussing right now. That's the way I see it. And I just believe that, you know, I'm very optimistic in life, and sometimes maybe too optimistic, but I through this sadness, I hope and pray that we have a positive outcome.
Yeah, so do I, because it's got to come, something good got to come out of this. Someone's lost their life, and it's such a horrible way. So something good has got to come out of this. I was just mentioning the fact that, you know, before We had Reginald. Remember, I said to you about the St. Paul's Cathedral and Remember Me, the online book of condolences. It's a really good one. It's powerful because it goes, I mean, obviously around the world. So, you know, images of your loved ones, short little messages underneath, and it's there, you know. I just think it's a great initiative.
Do you know what? I'm grateful for this stuff. And this is the sort of thing that you want. Now, don't get me wrong. When I say great, obviously we would all prefer those that we lost to still be here. But it's that unity that we were all able to pay our tributes to somebody or many people that we lost on such a nice platform. Yeah. I think it's a really nice touch. And this is the positivity that I would have liked to have opened this week on, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
That through all the bad that's happened, we have light at the end of that tunnel.
Exactly.
And yeah, no, thank you for.
And this is it. This is what we need. The uplifting bit about it all. Just you need to. I kind of also say every day, Anthony, I want to laugh. I want a joke. I want somebody to tell me a joke. I want to be able to every day. I want to laugh. I need to laugh.
You need to. You need to. You know, if we go back to our first episode where we had today, Edwards talking about mental health checks. You just need those certain bits that, in such a tough time, you just need that laughter. You need that from people. You need that interaction to be like, this is life. I'll be honest. As the lockdown was slightly eased and we was told you could go to the park, I went out with some friends and just threw a ball. And you were like, you know what, this is life. And you had a smile on some of the most basic stuff, but that's what you're looking for. And then, you know, what else did I need for a smile and a laugh? My throne. You just do what you
need. Your throne.
You know?
All you need now is a crown. So, no, don't go there.
No, I have to, because those who know me will say he does have one. In my other form of employment, where I won't mention, there is a staff vote that goes on, and I was voted king of that place. So I do have a crown in my office. So I left it there in quarantine. I can't bring it to match my throne. But thank you for noticing, Pam, that I do have a crown, and I've acknowledged it. At the moment, the afro's working for the crown due to quarantine reasons. That's the one. That is the one. So that's the one. Right. Just congratulations to Lusters on making stuff happen while you can't make stuff happen, if you would. You know, the international division shut down, but
making stuff happen when you can't make stuff happen. Anthony, here's what I want to talk to you about. All right, the track and trace. Okay, the track and trace. You've been with someone that possibly, contracted the disease, and if you may have it, track and trace. But Anthony, if you don't have a smartphone, Anthony, if you don't have an iPhone, Anthony, you can't be tracked and traced. So what's the whole...
So if you're watching this now, you might be able to see it somewhere else. I was logged on to Facebook just before the show, and I saw this COVID-19 symptoms. Just let us know how you're feeling or something. I didn't read the whole thing exactly, but I'm trying to figure out exactly what are you asking me. And it's like, even if you don't feel well, it helps us understand what a hotspot area is. And I was like, okay. Now, I know they're doing that. I know, and I'm not promoting any company over another because it's not even my network, so I'm not bashing them when I say this either. Vodafone are doing a Dream Big campaign or something where you can download an app and buy. And I was trying to understand, what are you telling me? I thought it was to track your sleeping, like if you snore or something. I didn't know what it was. They're telling me it's to help with the COVID. And I'm quite ignorant to this stuff, and I have to admit, maybe sometimes I keep it too entertainment and not enough of the real world, because I see it and I question it, and I hands up, apologies, I haven't looked deeper, because I do say to myself, well, how? I'm hearing of heat treatments. I've seen videos where I've seen like stuff going up people's noses, scratching the back of your tonsils and all that, and then you're telling me just tap the app and we'll be able to tell you what's going on. You know what? We can elaborate a bit further. I will, hopefully by next week. I will do some more research. I'll put my hands up, and we can discuss further. But I'm just there.
I mean, just the basics of it, Anthony. The basics is this: you can't be tracked and traced unless you've got an iPhone. So, are you going to try and tell me everyone in the land possesses an iPhone because they don't.
I'm Android, so that that tells you something. I'm Android. I will put it out there. My other half has a normal, like, old school Nokia. It doesn't even do internet. So where does that go? Like, there are stages to this. But you know, sometimes I believe, and I don't want to bash any government, any world leader or organization when I say this. They say stuff to you to make you feel comfortable, but when you stop and think about it, you realize it doesn't work. Now, I don't want to go all the way back, but I remember being in school and they were talking about terrorism, and they were like, we will have ID cards. And I said, and it was a question, and everyone's like, well, what do you think? And we had a debate in class. Well, how does an ID card tell you what I'm planning to do? Right? Because my name could be John Smith, and I'm not attacking any John Smith out there, and I have an evil plan. My name could be Muhammad Ali, and all I'm going to do is box. If you get what I'm saying, I'm just using like most generic. Take Anthony Jordan, if you would. What does Anthony Jordan say to you on a card? What does my phone, which I'm not going to label, but just show you like that, what does that tell you about my health at the moment? Let's work with it. I get it, guys. You're trying to encourage us that there's positivity, but give me more reassurance than something that's just like, oh, well, they said it will work, so it will.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really rather come in a bit too late. They started this at the beginning in March, and then they stopped it. Why did they stop it then? I don't know. Then now they've realised, oh gosh, no, we shouldn't have stopped it. Oh, let's put it back in there. But you know, it's not going to be for everyone. But can I also say there's some sort of dark area when it comes to your privacy? Now, I don't want to be tracked and traced, mate. When I want to test myself, I'm going to get tested. Yeah, but I don't want to be tracked and traced because we don't know enough about it. About your privacy.
So I'm going to scare a lot of people out there. A lot of people will... I say this because it's just the way I feel sometimes.
Because you're the dark persuader, but...
Exactly, for the dark. I have to defend the dark. No, it's not even that. But we talk about Facebook. We talk about your social medias and all these smartphones. Do you remember a film in 97, 98, 99 maybe? Like pre-social media with Will Smith talking about enemy of the state, and it was being tracked left, right, and center in a way that you were like, if the FBI want to track and trace you, and I hate to say this, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, they want to, they will. That's the part that scares me. Like, it's a true fact, because if that was the film pre-social media, what happens post social media? You know,
I know. Is that Hazel?
It is Hazel, who is, I believe she wants to be a guest on the show.
Okay.
I say that sarcastically. That's me. That's when you talk as a very polite colleague and son, and just say, "Oh no. Obviously, Mom's talking because she wants to be part of the show." Yes, keep it down. She's looking at me like, "Oh, well, I heard." Yes.
People tell her we can hear her. All the viewers can hear her.
Yeah, the lifestyle viewers say hello. Sponsored by Tamara Design. Anyway, no, joking aside, yes, you recognise the voice rightly. Yes, she was the one who brought us all back together for the Tamara soiree. Again, just mentioning the last when everyone was allowed to touch and hug and have a good smile.
Back in the old days, mate. Back in the old days.
You know, it's really funny because people are talking and they're like, "Oh, we're going to be going back to work, X, Y," and I'm like, yeah, this now is the new normal. You know, queuing to go into your local supermarket is a way. Getting onto a tube, I heard that with the lifting of a lockdown might be 10 people per carriage, which I'm still not sure how that's going to work. But this is the new normal. So, would you say the old days?
It's the same with the buses, though, Anthony. Apparently, I think it's maximum going to be possibly 20, I think 10 on top, 10 down the bottom.
Really?
That's on the double decker. Then on your single, it's 10. Wow. On your single bus is 10. Listen to me. This is the new normal. We all got to get used to this.
New normal. It's the new normal. You know, sometimes I praise being that 80s kid because, we saw technology, we saw it all. And then we're at a point now where it's like, I've also witnessed the change of it all.
So the change of it. I mean, you know, the only thing I didn't like about this, I love the fact that TfL, Transport for London, and the London Mayor wanted to protect these workers, particularly the drivers of the buses, because we've had, I mean, up to date, I think 29 deaths of bus drivers alone. Now, I understand that. He then opened the buses to a degree where you didn't have to pay, because leave that side of the bus driver, that section alone, come into the middle of the bus, you don't have to pay. He's protecting these drivers. Okay, run out of money. Ask the government, please, sir, can I have more? They need money. TfL have made a deal with the government, because the government has made this proviso. We'll give you what you need, but I tell you what, you start getting the fares gone on. You start making people carry on paying, and we need this money back. So what they've done is they've penalised the under 18s.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, and I also found out that I'm going to touch on it very quickly because I know our guest is waiting. But there's two things. One, I know congestion charge is going up. It's now going up to £15. So when that's back in force, that's going to happen.
7 days a week.
About the kids. Is it 7?
7 days a week.
Ooh, that's a stinger. Plus the ULEZ, that's going to be interesting. And the other part where, as much as I defend what Khan was doing, your bus driver is behind a protective screen. Now, if he was able to contract it, what are we doing when we were just all walking in through the back? That was the one part that scared me about getting on the buses. It was like, and I get it, you do what you can to protect, but it was also very scary on the other side for any commuter. That's the part I was scared of.
Yeah. Also, though, you should be wearing a face mask. You're not supposed to go on the bus.
I've heard this now, yeah.
And also, because of the bars, touching of the chairs or whatever, gloves.
Yes.
Wear gloves and have your hand sanitizers as well. So these are aspects just to keep trying to help out with the bus drivers, the workers, as well as everyone else that goes on the buses. Now, we are not supposed to see crowded buses. You're not supposed to see crowded tubes in the carriages either. So it's all going to be a mass of, this is what's going to happen, Anthony. How do you regulate the buses now? So it's going to be like, whereas you get one every 15 minutes, it can't be one every 15 minutes because only X amount of people can go on the bus. So you've got to have about 3 in 15 minutes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I agree. Because a bus stop is packed normally. When you've reduced the numbers, you're going to have to double the amount of buses.
That's what
even
I'm saying.
Double to triple.
Crazy. Anyway, that's enough of us ranting.
Indeed. I was going to take over, but like when you have stars of stage and screen, who's the dark persuader? So I'm just going to humbly bow and say goodbye, and I'll let you take over.
I've got a great intro for this next guest of mine. I've got a great intro for him, so I hope I do this right, and I hope I do it correctly. So bye, Sir Anthony.
Bye.
Next up on Lifestyle, he's played a policeman in the Smash TV series The Bill, a doctor in the comedy series Good Night, Sweetheart, a corrupt mayor in the long-running detective drama Death in Paradise, more recently a barrister in Marjorie Blackman's Noughts and Crosses for the BBC, and now, courtesy of the National Theatre, we're able to watch and have been watching his acting skills, remotely mind, as he plays Barber Emmanuel, or to some of them, Uncle Emmanuel, in the Smash stage production of The Barbershop Chronicles. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Cyril Nri.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I hope I did a great intro.
Well, I'm in the sunshine. I'm on my roof terrace, and the wind is blowing, so my umbrella keeps moving about. I have to keep grabbing it, but I'm here.
You are here. Thank you. Hey, Cyril, it's been how many years now? We last spoke in the confines, so that's when it was normal, of the Cotton. The Cotton's restaurant in Islington. Yeah. These are very.
Was that during Julius Caesar or just after?
It was after, because we spoke about this, didn't we?
So it was 2013 then.
You really got it good going on there. That's excellent. That's from 2013. I mean, I do have the dates and everything here, by the way. I could say it. But let's just talk about, for now, let's talk about what's happening now. Obviously, this crisis has affected everyone in every field, no matter who you are, or what you are. Yeah. So how has it impacted on you? I explained to the viewers that we could see you remotely playing Uncle Emmanuel or Emmanuel.
Yeah.
At the barbershop.
Well, sadly for me, we don't get paid for that particular performance. No, because and I think it's a subject I should come on to, but because that particular performance was recorded as an archive recording, and it was never really meant for public showings. And what happened was that the National got so many requests for that particular show to be shown that they decided they would do it as a charitable fundraiser because it wasn't necessarily of broadcast quality. Now, my question would be, as you have NT lives, and they are done on a major scale, and all the sound is perfect, and you rehearse and whatever, and for different cameras and stuff. Why one of the most popular shows that happened to be an all-black show it's not recorded as an NT live, and if it had been recorded as an NT live, obviously we would all have been paid, but that's so. Whilst I was very, very glad that they showed it, and it did have a quality to it, and we had just under 500,000, just under 500,000 views of the show, which is fantastic, particularly for the smallest theatre at the National, the Dorfman Theatre, which is where it was performed. I think that's fantastic. I would like to see, more of the next productions being given the same treatment that they gave Frankenstein or Twelfth Night or any of those other productions, and not just recording it for archive. But that's a beast beyond a beast. So yeah, so I'm not going to go there. So yeah, it was playing that role was fantastic. It was one of those things. I think for anybody who saw Barbershop, especially live, it hit so many wonderful points in a black man's life, and it unveiled a world that a lot of people don't get to see, because the barber is really someone who is a therapist, who is the person who makes you look smart, so you're right there. And I know that over this COVID period, people have been missing their barbers. I've been in contact with mine, remotely, obviously, and I can't wait till I can go again and get a proper cut.
I wonder what that was about, Cyril. I really wonder what that was all about. Well, I didn't want to say it.
I now do it every sort of 3 days.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to see. Up here on my roof, it's a private world where nobody's going to see, and nobody cares. And I use my vial shapes, but I just set it, and then. It's not a very, skilled job. There's no doing the end, and the back, I don't know what the back is like. I haven't seen it, but I presume it's the same length as the front.
You're trying, at least. You're trying.
Yeah,
so,
I tried.
What has been happening? We've seen remotely, of course, actors getting together, little TV snippets of drama, of being locked down, series of those things. Have you been getting involved in any things like that?
I have been. I belong to a group of black creatives who are the umbrella keeps doing the shade and then, but I belong to a group of male black creatives called For the Man Den. And it's a WhatsApp group. There are 256 of us in the group, which I think is the maximum that WhatsApp allow. And on there's a lovely young actor, producer, writer, Elliot Barnes-Worrell, who is Trix Worrell's son. And Trix wrote Desmond's and various other things. And Elliot started this thing. He did a little short film about his quarantine lockdown, which was called Justin. Look it up online. And at Elliot B. Words on YouTube. He then started this thing of doing quarantine Shakespeare. You know, and it was one of those wonderful things where he assigned to various friends Shakespeare speeches and asked us to film them. And he asked me to do a piece from Henry IV about insomnia, and he asked various others. And he put together this wonderful series of quarantine Shakespeares. And do go and look it up online on YouTube or on, you know, Instagram or whatever social media you have. I think he's put it out on most of them. And that was really wonderful. It was just a lovely thing to do. Other than that, I've been writing. I'm writing a script at the moment, which is keep busy. I'm doing a lot of reading, which is fantastic. I'm trying not to get angry about the situation of the world, which everybody knows about. The joy of writing is that I can use the particular tools that I have to express my feelings about what's going on and this hopefully turning point in the world's history where, you know, somebody, well, the various things that have happened, the woman in Central Park, the shooting of Ahmed Arbery, the, you know, the tasering of Ziggy Mombayara, the execution of George Floyd. You know, these things will hopefully be a turning point. We won't be just doing a Rodney King and back, you know, and no matter what the powers that be try to do, you know, rushing out the same old tropes, you know, blaming looters and whatever. As Trevor Noah has said, they've ripped up the contract and people are no longer interested in hearing that we've got to keep our side of the contract if they keep ripping it up, you know. So what I can do is I can write and I can express that stuff. And not only can I write directly to those subjects and, you know, put those things in the places. Whoops, there's my umbrella. Yeah. You know, where they count, and, you know, write to those people who have influence, who are probably going to ignore most of it, but also to put out in other places where it will be heard, and to express those things within the format that I generally work in, which is acting and writing and performance, and to bolster that, because just like Barbershop, it covered a lot of the lives of, you know, of black men.
Yeah, but what was so interesting about Barbershop? It covered how many cities, how many towns?
It went to six locations around the world.
Yeah.
And you know, it involved 33 black men of all shapes and sizes. The characters, there were 33 characters there, of all shapes and sizes, of all political beliefs, of all, you know, you couldn't say, you know, this is all of us. This is just a representation of the various manifestations of, you know, of the beauty of black life, you know, and so that was fantastic. And I think the more that we get to express those things and to reflect on this situation, you know, I think we will grow out of this. We will grow out. Yeah.
Well, I was talking to, I don't know whether you was in the green room there at that time. I was talking to a Californian. He was he's a New Yorker born, really, but he's in California, and he was just expressing the feelings. He's there. He feels things. He sees it going on.
Yeah.
We were saying that, and he's hoping, and so many of the blacks in America are hoping that out of this will come something positive. New legislation, perhaps new laws, and governing that with the police officers and their conduct, and in the way that they apprehend a suspected a villain, if you will. You know,
I think that will happen. I really do think those things will happen. I think the laws will change. I'm not sure we've got to the end of this process yet. I'm not sure that we won't get a situation which goes a lot further, and maybe, you know, there will be blood. But out of that will come something which is where we can't just turn back. There is no going back to what was, you know, now. There just isn't. And I feel really optimistic about that. You know, nowadays, well, up until lockdown, I was spending half my time in New York, and I lived there, you know, half the year now, in various periods, you know, for work. And I think you know, I see what's going on. I see the danger of that. I see my sister get worried every time her husband or her daughter leaves the house. You know, to live that way is a constant strain. And I think that time we've come to the end of that. We've come to the end of that because, you know, there's no going back now. There's no acceptance of this stuff. And I think what has been brilliant about COVID, if there is anything brilliant about COVID, is that it has exposed all that there could be, you know, exposed, and there's no running away from that now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shocking, you know, it's shocking that that woman in Central Park hasn't been charged with a hate crime.
I know.
You know, I don't understand that, because it was a hate crime. You know, it was a crime that only you know, 30 years back led to 5 young men being you know, jailed for, you know, their lives.
Yeah.
You know, up until that point, for a crime they hadn't committed. You know, it was a crime that a few years earlier than that would have led to that black man hanging from a tree. So it was a hate crime. It was a vicious hate crime with violence in it. But I don't see why there isn't a charge. You know, it's great to say, oh, she's lost her job. You know, great, that doesn't cut it. You know,
was there a rumor that she had some mental issues as well?
Well, you know, I would love to go down that road, but I find that whenever these things are brought up, and it is, and the color of the perpetrator is round a certain way, there are lots of excuses made for why and how individuals they were and whatever else, and the stuff is not afforded the other way. You know? So whilst I would love to hear all about her mental state, you know, she held down a perfectly legitimate job. You know, you know, as somebody pointed out, I'm really glad that everybody rushed to the protection of the dog. You know, if only they could afford it. You know, yeah, you know. So that's different. So I you know, I'd love to, but I'm not going to make any excuses for her behavior. You know, even if you are not, you know, she was of sound mind enough to know that she could weaponize that call, and therefore, you know, I would say, even if there is an inkling of something that says, you know, she is not responsible, she is still accountable. You know?
Yeah.
That's no excuse. So, So,
but
other than that,
you know, what we're going to do, so we are going to round up. But what I need you to tell us is where can people get to know a bit more about the great Cyril Nri? Let's get some social contacts out there.
See, now, this is the bit where I go, I don't frequent Twitter, I don't frequent Facebook, I don't frequent Instagram or TikTok or any of these things. I generally tend to let the work speak for itself. You know, if they wanted to know, you know, there's enough stuff out there. I mean, you know, I don't look at it, but you know, I know that people add to Wikipedia pages and take off the Wikipedia pages, and people put out stuff, and my kids send me stuff that you know, I've never seen, and you know, and they go, you know, this is out there, and I go, well, that's nice for them. You know, do I have to engage? You know, I don't generally tend to engage on that level. You can find out what I'm doing at any point by just you know, looking up the age.
Well, let's try and find out now. I mean, for 2021, I'm not going to say 2020. I don't know the back end of 2020. If anything's going to happen the back end of 2020. Let's talk about 2021. Any kind of plans? Any?
Yeah, hopefully the program that I was making when COVID started, which is a book called The Power, and Amazon are making a series called The Power, which is a book by Naomi Alderman, and it's a wonderful book, and it's being made into a series by Amazon, and I play a dad in that of a young man, and the book is basically about young women around the age of 15 suddenly coming into a world where they get the power to electrocute people through their bodies. They get the power of electricity through their bodies. And it causes a storm, and it's set in the States, in Africa, and in London. And so I play one of the dads in that, John Leguzmo and various others. Play other dads and stuff, and you know, of young women, but I play the dad of a young blogger journalist, Nigeria, and hopefully I think we got to filming most of up to episode 2, and then everything went on hold, and I came back here, but they're keeping us on a sort of small retainer that hopefully we'll be able to get back to it without having to do too much refilming, because my thought is that, you know, these are young people, and if it takes a year, somebody who was 15, you know, when we were filming, a year later,
might look very different.
They may look very different, because, you know, I remember, you know, personally between 15 and 16, the guy grew about 5 inches. So, yeah. So, they may be young men with moustaches and beards and whatever.
That's what I'm saying, man, yeah. What a difference a year makes.
So, yeah. Hopefully we'll be back to it before long. Yeah.
Well, we'll watch out for that. So, Cyril, it was been lovely speaking to you. Hopefully, as we go towards the ending of the year, if we're still going to be doing remote as we are now, this is the new normal. We can have it again, and we can perhaps catch up on perhaps that series that you're in, and see what from there. Okay, Cyril Nri, thank you. Blessings.
Bye, everybody.
Wow. Okay, we're going to be swiftly moving on. We're going to get lightened up now. We're going to get enlightened with some musical entertainment and feel-good factors. So, Sir Anthony, are you there, Squire?
What I love about this oil is that after using it, my new growth is coming in thicker, it's coming in stronger. It's actually helping with my braids. It's promoting itch relief. And this oil, the natural ingredient store, there's 2 oils in there that have growth benefits. This oil is the truth. So if you see this in the store, make sure you grab 2. This is Moni Less with Hair Talk, signing off.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. See you.
We still have Cyril. I just want to say quickly, I was just watching Good Night Sweetheart just last week, and I saw him on that episode. So it's grand to just be sharing the screen with him there. That was tops for all it was.
Amazing. The roles he's had, the different.
I know.
The thing up as well.
Indeed.
Anthony, I'm ready for some feel good vibes from you. So I'm going to be leaving you with your entertainment corner, and I'll see you later.
Indeed, I'll see you later. Okay, it is the entertainment corner, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to kick this off as a wrestling fan, but also just because of the huge impact that it had. I want to put a quick RIP out there to Shad Gaspar, who was a wrestler, stuntman, actor of sorts as well. He actually, the reason I want to mention this, as the lockdown was lifted in the States, went for a swim with his son, and the waves came out. Lifeguards came to save him. He actually said his last words were, "No, save my son, take my son first." They took him, and a riptide came along, took Shad away, and his body was found 3 days later. So he sadly is no longer with us. He was confirmed dead, but overall seemed a really great guy. So I just wanted to put a big RIP to a real life hero. Like, it's really sad that kid has lost his life, but I hope he finds some reassurance that his dad was a hero, that, you know, in those words, he done a heroic act at the end. But okay, that was my last of the miserable and unfortunate. Right now, the sun is out, the sun is shining. This guy, it's going to be a pleasure and an honor to introduce this man. He's been dubbed the reggae usher by the legendary James Brown. He has shared a stage with the Rolling Stones and Michael Jackson. He's done a few tracks with Shaggy, but on top of that, he has topped the billboards himself with hip hop and albums and singles. The one, the only, Rayvon. Are you there, sir?
Yes. Good morning.
Yes,
good morning. Or good afternoon.
Yeah, I was going to say
good afternoon.
Yes, afternoon for me. Good morning for you. Yes. Are you still in the Bronx at the moment? Is that where you are?
In Brooklyn. In Brooklyn. Yes.
In Brooklyn. Yes. Great stuff. You know? Yes. Barbados born, Brooklyn raised.
Yes.
The man
yes.
himself.
Yes.
No, well, thank you. As I said, for us it's the afternoon, but it's the morning for you. So I appreciate the time difference, and I thank you for being there with us. What can I say? What a career! What a career that is, Rayvon. Tell us, how did it all start for you? Where was the inspiration to get into music?
It's a beautiful journey, and it's still going. And it actually started beating on pots and pans as a little kid, about 4 years old.
Wow.
And you know, my parents realized, he's like, you know, he's not making noise. He's actually hitting, you know, he's going to the beat. So we're gonna buy him a drum set. And they bought me a drum set, and then I really kind of excelled on the drums as a little kid, and the whole family was calling me Little Drummer Boy. You know, and then I think my musical vibe started there, and then my father played a lot of music around the house. So, you know, he played a variety of soul music, reggae music, calypso, even a little bit of country. You know, growing up in the Caribbean, the radio is like that melting pot of music. So I think it kind of started there. And then when I migrated to the States, like about 9, 10 years old, I won a turntable for selling candy at school. Nice. So I took that turntable and took it home, you know, and put it with my family turntable. And then I started to DJ. And then my father actually bought me 2 turntables as a mixer for my birthday at about 12.
Hey, wow.
So then, so I had a rap group. And then, you know, I had a rap group. I was a DJ, you know, and then I went to a reggae show, got inspired at about 14, then got another opportunity to go to a recording studio. Went to that studio, did about 4 records there. Actually, my first release was released in England. Through Living Room Studios, big up Barry Dredd and Sidney Mills from Steel Pulse, and it was a song called "Sweet and Pretty." Drive for the girls there. So even
you have to. How else do you start?
It's a good start for the girls.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so you know, and that same recording studio, about maybe 4 or 5 years later, another artist came in to do some work, because I was in there, I was singing and chatting as well. So, you know, if an artist came in as a DJ and he wanted a singing hook, Rayvon can do it. And if a singer came in and he wanted a DJ hook, Rayvon, come in. And so a DJ named Shaggy came in about 4 years later. And then we kind of, producer said, you know, you guys should do something together. You have a smooth voice, rough voice for him. And then that energy started there as well. You know. Nice. And then, you want me to keep going?
you know what? I'm in awe. I'm in awe.
I want to take over.
Yeah.
I leave you some room.
No, that's all good. No, I love that story. So what? I mean, I will touch on the Shaggy part, but as you said, you had a touch of the DJ and you had a touch of the melodic singer. Which one? And I know as a musician, you must have a love for both. But if you had to pick one, which would be the Rayvon preference? What is the Rayvon favorite angle to deliver in music?
Listen, coming up, I've always heard that, but I to be honest, I can't really pick. It's a I don't know. I guess it depends on the mood, and then depends on what song I'm hearing or rhythm I'm hearing. Because coming up on the sound system thing, you have to be able to DJ or sing on any rhythm.
Yeah,
any rhythm, right? Any rhythm, anyway. But so when they if I singing like a lovers rock one drop thing kind of came on, then I would go into the singing flavor, and then if a more hardcore or rootsier thing come in, then I might do a reggae channel. And the answer is night and day. Where you rather, the night or the day? I can't say it.
All I can say is you own both of them. That is a fact. I've heard you do both. You've mastered both. Yes. So I thank you for the entertainment over the years. So you mentioned a DJ there, and I will bring him up as much as there is your career because of the amount of collaborations that's been there with yourself from Shaggy. You were on the B-side to Oh Carolina. You've done it in the summertime together, and there was Angel. So
hold on.
Okay, I'm forgetting.
You got another one. Now, my first music video. I got a lot of history with the UK. I don't know what's going on. I got a lot of history with the UK. My first video was in the UK. Okay. Nice and Lovely. Yeah. That was on the first album. That was actually our second single.
Okay.
The first one was a song called Big Up, Big Up. And then after that came a song called Nice and Lovely, which was shot right in London.
It's nice to know that the love that you guys have been delivering for us right now. I love it. I love it. It's some of that history that you see international stars and you love everything they're doing, but sometimes you can just look back and be like, I recognize that. You recognize the street, or to discover that something was recorded just around the corner from home.
And one of my second video played a lot in London and in the UK. On a video thing called The Box at the time.
Yes, I remember The Box, yeah.
Remember The Box, right? How I know, one day I'm walking down Piccadilly, right? And a couple people like, hey, Rayvon. No, that can't be Rayvon. What are you doing walking down here, man?
I love it.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's been a nice journey. It's a lot of those little stories. And, it's a stepping thing up to them.
But it is. But as you said, it's one of those journeys that's been appreciated because no matter which way you've approached it, whether it be the hip hop and rap or the reggae side, or as a singer, great tracks. And as for myself, I listed some, I forgot some, and it's such a great catalog that is there. And it's what I like about a true artist is that it doesn't stop. And you have been able to keep it going through that time. So, it's to be appreciated, and it's there. And that's why you're here, because at the moment, there's another track out there. You've lined up with Sugar Bear, and I can see it. Great track. Yeah. Yes. How did you guys come about that one?
The song is called I See You. And, that was about the third song in the collaborations with myself and Sugar Bear. We started with a song called Sugar King. Right, a DJ Willie Daniels up in New York. He kind of brought that to us, and he made the introduction for between us. And when we did that song, the song kind of it had a good energy, and we worked it a lot. We actually we came to the UK to promote that song first, which gave us the energy to want to come back with new music, which is here we are with the ICU song. Now that song was there's another one called Now That We Found Love as well, which myself and Sugar Bear we did over remade the Now That We Found Love, but with a different flavor, a new swing.
Indeed.
Originally done by the OJs, then Third World and Heavy D. So I think it's time for a new rendition, and we came with that one, and then we came with ICU. Which ICU is a very up-tempo, melodic, but cutting edge with a DJ thing, party, ladies, feel good, happy. If we weren't in lockdown, we'd be out partying kind of song.
It is. You know, it has that summer melodic feel. You feel the vibe when you play the track. We will be featuring it later. It has that vibe. It definitely has that vibe.
Give thanks, and it's doing very well. It's getting a lot of ads throughout even Latin America, the Caribbean, and in Europe. Getting quite a few spins in the UK. Big up all the fans in the UK that's checking out the ICU song, and it is a video that was just released last week as well, and that is doing very well. It's just been added to a lot of commercial stations up here in the States. I don't know if I can mention them on your platform.
Yeah, man.
BET, Large Up on Itself, is on there. MTV just added it as well. So it premiered. Big up Ziggy Bless, playing out in Jamaica. Nice. CVM, CIN, yeah. So we're working, and this just the beginning. Because nowadays in the music industry, there's so much music, so much stuff coming out. You got to work your song.
Yeah.
If not, you just throw it out there, and everybody's gonna get it, because there's so much things to take away people's attention. So you have to, kind of just keep working it and keep working it and keep working it. Because we put it out some months ago. You know what I mean? But we understand that it's a process to get your song.
Yeah.
Take off. You think when you get into a plane, you just up in the air like that. No, you at the gate, you have to taxi out, you have to turn, you have to, before you can take off. You know what I mean? So, right? So, all the fans, check out the song ICU. Check it out on the tube. Check it out right here.
We will be featuring it.
Yeah, man. And it's like, you won't be disappointed. And it's some more to come behind this one as well.
So
look out for the Latin mix.
Yeah, which one?
The Latin mix, the Latin remix that's coming for this one.
I've got my ears open for that one for sure. So you talk about the process of launching the track and the promotion and for the few months. How has that been with the current situation? How has that been as an artist for with the whole pandemic going on? How difficult has that been for you in terms of promoting the tracks, or has it made it easier? Like, how has that experience been?
Well, the business has kind of changed up a little bit. So the promotion machine had to be, re-oiled and so forth, because like like in the late 90s and the 2000s, they would wrap vans. They would wrap buses with what the artwork of your single.
True, yeah.
And then you would have to make up a lot of physical copies of CDs. Now you don't have to make up CDs like that anymore, because everything is on the internet. It's internet based. It's download. So now you got to get your social media and that kind of media related stuff updated. So you have more of that, and you still have to touch the streets as well, because when I mean the streets, you have to move around, and you have to go out there and make sure that your stuff is out there playing how it's supposed to be played.
Yeah.
And and introducing it. It's just like that old fashioned, hey, I got something here. You want to try it? Let's check it out. You got to do that as well. So it's just about just watching to see how the business is going and adapting to make it work. And if you could come up with some ideas of your own, then you should also do that, because to be not only creative in music, but you got to be creative in your marketing ideas and your marketing strategy. Yeah.
Indeed. That yeah. Well, it sounds like you've got it on lock, and I'm glad to see that with the UK, the appreciation is still there. I'm going to ask you something that I've just been requested, literally at the moment, from one of our viewers. I know it's early in the morning, so if it's a no, it's a no. Can we get a small a cappella from Rayvon from the track? We will be playing the video a bit later, but is it possible to get a small acapella from you, sir?
I see you looking, girl. I can see it in your eyes, and it's no surprise, yeah. I see you wanting, girl. I can see it in your smile, and I love your vibe, yeah. Looking in your eyes, it's so seductive. Wanna put your loving girl in a captive. Flirting with you get me well active. Emotion like you're radioactive. Natural loving is the way I feel you. Want old kiss and caress you too. That's sugar bear part. I ain't
I know I've seen the videos. I know it's sugar, but you just proved that throw a DJ part, throw a melodic part, you've got it. You've got it, bro. You've got it. Thank you so much. So, can I just ask for right now, just before we say our goodbyes, could you just give us any social media links, anything you'd like to put out there for our viewers to get in contact with Rayvon?
Yes. People, you can check me out. You can follow me. Rayvon at the number 1, Rayvon. So that's one Rayvon. So that's the Instagram. That's the SoundCloud, the YouTube channel as well, one Rayvon, and GTC Entertainment, a couple of YouTube channels. And check me out on Vivo as well. The website www.1rayvon.com, fan merchandise. You can check that out. We launching the GTC, Get That Cheddar. GTC stands for Get That Cheddar.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
I mean, your car can't move without no gas. So
this is true.
Record business can't move without no gas. So you need a little cash. You understand? All right. So, and the Facebook is the real Rayvon. Twitter is also one Rayvon. And yeah, people, please check me out. Check out the music. Blessed love for all the support. Hope to see you soon when all of this COVID and all of this things is over. And yeah, people, God bless, God bless. Yeah, man. Big up yourself, brother.
Thank you very much, sir.
This thing is live. UK.
Absolute pleasure having you. We can't wait for everything to come down and have you in a studio with us and just deliver again, because it's an honor. You've kept music alive. You're delivering in all different genres, and it's an absolute pleasure. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And big up Media Diane. Yeah, man. Large.
Big up all the time. Thank you very much. Bye.
Girl, me want you and you want me. Yeah. Let's get together for your love party. Brand new one for Rayvon and Sugar Bee.
I see you looking, girl. I can see it in your eyes. And it's no surprise, yeah. I see you wanting, girl. I can see it in your smile. And I love your vibe, yeah.
Looking in your eyes is a seductive. Want put your loving girl in a captive. Flirting with you get me well active. Emotion spread like you radioactive. Natural affinity me have for you. Want hold you hug and kiss squeeze you. Passionate love me want make with you. Make you scream and scream and stop continue.
I see you looking, girl. I can see it in your eyes. And it's no surprise, yeah. I see you wanting, girl. I can see it in your smile. And I love your vibe.
Me and you together, girl, all kind of thing. You be the queen and me be the king. Night and day, I just love me a king. Pon your finger, me ever slip on the ring.
Girl, you make me heart and sing. Bring it, come your heart, girl, in the ring. Yo, girl, you just give me that body. Yo, because you're such a hottie. I see you looking, girl. I can see it in your eyes. And it's no surprise, yeah. I see you wanting, girl. I can see it in your smile. And I love your vibe, yeah. I see you looking, girl. I can see it in your eyes. And it's no surprise, yeah. I see you wanting, girl. I can see it in your smile. And I love your vibe.
Beautiful girl, your hair.
Okay, that was the one and only Rayvon. We will be featuring him later, his video later on with Sugar Bear, as mentioned. But right now, I would like to welcome another artist who's been doing some great stuff from a UK front this time. The one, the only, Mr. Tann-I Browne. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Yes, sir. I'm good. Thank you for your time as well. How's it going? How's everything?
Things are good considering, circumstances, the lockdown business, and but it is what it is, and we've got to make the best of a bad situation,
Indeed.
Which is keep spirits up.
That is the one. That is the one, and that's why the entertainment corner is here. We're here to raise spirits in a difficult time. You know, no matter what, the entertainment, the laughter, smiles, the music has to continue.
Yes, and big up the entertainment corner every time.
Thank you very much, sir. That's appreciated.
In this particular time, you know, we have to, you know, we have to find the ways to keep our spirits up, you know.
Yeah.
And to try and, you know, see the positive side of things, even though there's a lot of negativity around at the moment. But my philosophy is the glass isn't half empty, it is half full.
Indeed. Indeed. Yeah.
You know,
100%.
so, you know, you just got to stay strong, man. And listeners, big up to all the listeners, you know, keep boosting that immune system, you know, that is, you know, something that we need to do.
Yeah, no, wise words indeed. So tell us, how did your career begin? Where did Tann-I Browne influences into music, dedication, deciding this is where you'd like to get into the game?
Influences, I would say, well, you know, if I'm honest, I started singing in the choir, in the church choir.
Nice.
In, you know, the church that mommy sent me to every Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. But you know, but yeah, I've always enjoyed singing, you know, and so I kind of progressed to the sound system and got involved with a few brethren of mine whom we grew up with, and we had a sound named Rough Cut.
Yes.
Rough Cut sound. And you know, that was my humble beginnings, I can say, of actually getting into the music business. It was a soundman business first, and then, you know, few of my brethren, they encouraged me to sing because they seen, you know, I started to sing a little bit, and took it from there, really. You know, a band called Groundation, the original Groundation. They have a Groundation in you laugh.
No, because I know, you know what I always say is they get the inspiration. They get the inspiration and they just and name gets carried on again. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So I joined a band called Groundation. They have another Groundation that came after us in California. You know, they're doing their things. They're doing good, to be honest. But yeah, that was my first outing, and we recorded a session for the late John Peel for Radio 1.
Yes, I was going to touch on
and,
that.
And he was a very down to earth man. You know, we met him at a gig one time, and he liked us. He liked the sound of us, and so he asked us to come to London and do a session, which was for that year he played our session the most, I've been told by quite a few people.
That's nice.
And yeah, he was very into us. I have to give him, there's a lot of bands around now who are big now. Yeah, and it's because of him, you know, because at the time, you know, Radio 1 DJs do, you know, certain music, so we give respect to John Peel, definitely.
Indeed. So as well as that, you guys had a track, Here and Now, which was, Juggernaut, which was on the Here and Now theme. It was the theme song to the Here and Now show. Having that respect from BBC Radio 1, being featured as the theme song to a TV show, what is that feeling like for yourself? How did it feel in the time that it was happening?
It was a good feel. It was a good feeling, a humbling feeling, to be, because, you know, we never really seen that it would go that far. Still, you know, we went to Birmingham Central Studios and recorded it, and they played it. They broadcasted it on one of the, you know, the episodes, and then we find out that they're gonna use it as a signature tune, you know, for the show. So it played every week. You know,
that's nice. That's nice.
We give thanks, you know.
Yeah.
Every time, serious, you know, to give thanks, and that particular track, you know, that came about from a journey, a perilous journey, and so that's where the name Juggernaut came from, because we went up north somewhere, and this is with the band Groundation. We played, I think, with the band called Tradition from London, and it was a perilous night. It was one of them nights you don't know if you're gonna get home alive.
Ooh.
One of them. A long story, but maybe for another time.
Okay.
But it was a dread. It was a dread night. Trust me. We ended up all on the Yorkshire moors, and the wind blew. It was a stormy night. The wind blew down a tree right in front of us. We nearly hit the tree. We could have. Oh, ridiculous. And all we just, when we reached back to Leicester, all we just give thanks. Trust me, we give thanks.
I believe that. I can believe that. Yeah, you know, when you hear these kind of stuff, it's always one thing hearing it. It's always another experiencing it, and just hearing that alone gave me a chill. I could only imagine what it was like for you and everyone that was on that journey. You know, that was. But you know, thankfully, we give thanks that you're here.
It was.
Hello.
I think I lost you there.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah. No, I was just saying, such a journey. But I mean, again, we will be featuring your video later on. But I mean, again,
yes,
the impact of the stuff you've done: Curtis Mayfield, Santana, Third World, the Wailers band, Linton. I mean, it goes on. It goes on. It's a list, and congratulations to you as well for all the hard work that you've done through that time.
Yes, thank you very much. And the work not done yet.
No. But this is what I was going to touch on, because as much as we touch on all of that, the tagline to the bio that I have for you, but now it's serious time. It's time to change the world. Tell us more a bit about the plans and what we can look forward to from Tann-I Browne.
Yes. Well, you know, I mean, I have a single. It would have been out already, to be honest, but because of the lockdown, there's a video to go with it as well, and we hadn't quite finished the video. Just a bit more filming to do, so that's kind of been held up a bit because of this. But the album Rebel Soul, I might add, is going to be released in August, the middle of August, in the height of summer, and I'm quite looking forward to that. Seriously, you know, the album has been getting some really good feedback, positive feedback, and I'm hoping that there's a little something on there for everybody, you know, or for most people.
That's great.
Yes,
that's great.
The album entitled Rebel Soul People.
Okay, no, great stuff. So Tann-I, sorry, time is a challenge for us at the moment. Can I just ask you to give out all your social medias for everybody, and then just a nice little a cappella to see us out?
Sorry, say that again. You'd like
your social medias for anyone to follow you on, and a quick a cappella to see us out on this interview.
Well, you can catch me on my social media. Well, my website is tannibrowne.com. Social media is Tann-I Browne. Facebook, tannibrowne.com. Instagram, Tann-I Browne. Twitter, Tann-I Browne. And you can catch me on all those platforms. So check me out, people.
Thank you very much.
We will be Tann-I Browne. So don't forget to subscribe too. Don't forget to subscribe.
Indeed.
You know, because the message is out there, you know, the message is out there and circulate and spread the love. You know, spread the love.
That's the one. Thank you very much.
I got a big up music media management. Blessings every time. You don't know. I mean, I don't have to say, but you know.
No, good people. Good people.
You know? Yeah. Yes, definitely good people, man. Positive people, and you know, those are the kind of people we like to be around us. You know.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and we around them. So you know, positivity is good for positivity. You know. So
indeed,
yeah, it's all about the love, people.
That's the one. Okay, Tann-I, thank you very much. Yeah, just a quick, if we can, please.
I can't get you out of my head. I can't get you my mind. I can't get you out of my head. I can't get you out of my. Thank you, people.
Thank you very much, sir.
That's from one of my songs from Can't Get You Out of My Head. You can still download it on iTunes, Amazon, all leading internet stores. And just thank you very much for the time. Thank you for having me. And as I said, peace and blessings, one love to each and everyone out there, okay? You know, let's just spread the love, man. And each other, yeah, because that's the kind of time it is.
It is indeed. Tann-I, thank you very much. And we will be featuring one of your music videos later on in the music section of the Entertainment Corner.
Yo. Yo. I guess the blind leading blind then. How it's coming like when I see the signs them. Hear me though. Listen. Oh. Check.
Can a man feel the pain of a mother's loss when a son shot and died? Burning fire in her soul, she hold her belly and cry. Many things said and done, she's left asking the question why. Gunshot her back, so them attack, and a light up the night.
Yo, mother's still stressing, cause sons are still dead in. Crazy bad minds spreading, that's dead end heading. The violence ain't lesson, guess we ain't learning our lessons. In my life, I've been to more funerals than weddings. What? Wait, wedding? Roll up, sick of these black clothes, bruv. Got a bin I can throw them. The system got us so stuck. Is this how they broke us? Man would rather poke up than see a bro and show love. Throw up gang signs, but miss the signs life's throwing. Walking round asleep with your eyes wide open. Ears turn deaf when words of the wise are spoken. Guess ignorance is bliss until another life's stolen. Or is it happiness? They're my teeth, they're my teeth. Watch out for fake friends, they'll draw you out like Rayvon. In case you not believe, check how many dead over a next man's beef. It's real.
A long time we hear the warning, can't heed the calling. Tired of the warring, a bag of man them falling. A long time we hear the warning, can't heed the calling. Tired of the warring, one bag of man them falling. Oh.
Everything gone dark, some youth man murdered in the park. Gun crime, knife crime, so many youth served in big time. Look close and you will find hypnosis of the mind. Cause a child is born blind to the evils of mankind. There lies on the media and on the Wikipedia. The poor are getting poorer and the rich are getting greedier. A bag of youths are falling, man.
Check.
Doing time, mothers losing their mind must be a sign of the times.
A long time we hear the warning.
Yo.
Open up your eyes, violence is on the rise.
Tired of the warring.
Load your mind and not there.
A long time we hear the warning.
Through the games, films and media, and what they're feeding you.
Tired of the warring. One bag of man them falling.
You can't stop the bullet, but you can try not the way it land. Choose life, not stress. Get your mind a vest. Bless.
Mama used to think a little boy was cute. Now we're living in a different suit. Gone bad already, rotten to the root. Recognize you're living with strange fruit. Coming like the wicked put a spell on the youth. Can't tell the lies from what is the truth. Don't give a damn, them program for shoot. Take another life and no business. A long time we hear the warning, can't heed the calling. Tired of the warring, must be the sign of the time.
Okay, right now, thank you very much to Tann-I Browne, and I'm going to introduce, she promised us accents. She didn't warn us that she's going to win an award for these accents. So can I introduce the one and only Miss Jade Marie Joseph? Hey!
Woo!
Hey, Auntie, how are you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good. I might like spoil the moment, but like I on your Instagram and I saw congratulations and I saw awards for the accents.
Third place.
Third place. Well done. I saw the video. We will be showing it a bit later on. How did you feel? Well, I mean, well done, first of all. It was
yes.
good. I had a good laugh with it.
Yeah. I was happy to place. I'm not gonna lie, I did want a bit higher, obviously, first, even second, but third isn't bad. I definitely but I was definitely happy when someone sent me a message. I didn't even see the post. Someone sent me a message and they said to me, "Oh, well done, congratulations, you're third place." And I was like, "What?" And I went to the thing and I was like, "Oh my gosh." And I said, that was sick. Okay,
well, let's see what won you the award. I'll allow you to introduce it.
Okay, so this is my, what would I call it? My international shopping queue, COVID 2020.
Nice.
Hey
Enjoy.
guys, this is my Laville accent challenge.
So please, you're not standing far enough from me, please.
What are you talking about? I'm nowhere near you. She's actually right, you know. You're not standing on the yellow line. The last time I checked, I was talking to her. What is this? What kind of country is this? Dare you shout at her like that? How dare you?
Can I ask you, why are you getting involved in their dispute?
Why are you standing up for her? She's not on the yellow line. Can't you see that?
Thank you. I got somebody standing up for me. You mean she would think I'm up her patootie? I'm not up your patootie.
No. Can you stop right there? You can't use that kind of language. I got my little girl here.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're adding your 2 cents. You're making it worse.
Can you please stop talking to me? All right. Can you just butt out?
Don't talk to me like that. I'm not one to be played with. Do not
threatening me. Is that a threat?
I am not threatening you. I'm just telling you, I'm not one to be played with. Do not mess with me.
Look, I don't know what's going on here, right? I'm hearing about threats. Guys, take a chill pill, relax.
I'm not trying to cause a hate.
Do you know what? I don't want to create hate. So what I'm going to do is, I'm still going to stand right here, because I'm nowhere near you. And when you move up, I'll stand on the yellow line, okay?
Okay. Winner. Do you know what, Jade? I mean, we because of time, I'm gonna have to wrap it. But congratulations! Don't let third knock you, because I mean, I ain't seen the rest. I don't care about. No, I shouldn't say that. But congratulations to them. But the levels will keep going up each time. Like from video last time to this time, you've got it. You've got it, and we're loving it. So again, we will catch you next week. And thank you very much. All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, I'm going from Jade Marie Joseph to Pam Joseph. No, I love that video.
And by the way, what she didn't show you was that people were lined up at the bottom of the road thinking, what's going on there? This girl keeps coming out and talking different. You know, it was really quite amazing to see people out there doing that. But, you know, Anthony, we've come to the end.
I know. It all but happens. This is what happened.
Jeanette, management team at Tann-I Event Designers, Luster's Incorporated, and look forward to everybody again this time, same time, 1:30 next week. Don't forget Ben TV. It's on from the Monday 5 p.m, Friday 10 a.m, Sky Channel 458.
That's the one. Guys, just all I can say, keep safe. The guidelines are being lifted, but just keep safe. Yeah. Until the next time, I'm Anthony Jordan.
Stay blessed.
That's the one. Couldn't have said it better, Pam. See you later.
What I love about this oil is that after using it, my new growth is coming in thicker, it's coming in stronger. It's actually helping with my braids. It's promoting itch relief. And this oil, the natural ingredients store, there's 2 oils in there that have growth benefits. This oil is true. So if you see this in the store, make sure you grab 2. This is Moni Less with Hair Talk, signing off.